Jesus began to say in this Message version, "Are you tired? Are you worn out? Are you burned out on religion?" He said, "Don't look there. Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest." How? Watch this. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. I love this sentence. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't let anything heavy or ill-fitting on you keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Now, could I have your ears pull for a moment? Something that's very important. If you listened or if you read this translation, the Message version, there's something that can be easily missed. Something that's being communicated in between the lines. I think for the most part, if we're burnt out or we're really stressed, we really like that part of, "I will give you rest. I will show you how to live freely. I will not put heavy burden on you," and so on. And that's a part that we like. But notice, Paul, that Jesus' way is very different. That if we're not careful, we're going to miss it. We're going to just tend to think that He will take away all our burdens, all our worries, and all our stressors. In fact, Jesus said, the way to real rest is this: walking with Him and not sleeping, not doing nothing. In fact, sabi nga ng isa, one person said, "Did you notice? When I'm not doing anything, it's more tiring than actually doing something." The way to real rest is working. Weird. And He said, learn the unforced rhythms of grace. Coach Gina very wisely said one time, go and pause. Go and pause. Go and pause. I know a lot of us were stuck inside our homes for the most part, or maybe not. Maybe many of us are already slowly easing our way back into the new normal. And hopefully, if there's one thing that we can bring with ourselves after this pandemic, is that we learned the unforced rhythms of grace. If you feel like you're being burnt out, have time of prayer. I think one time I was asking Coach Gina that question. Coach Gina, how do you get out of burnout? How do you get tired of, feeling all of this weight and burden? And her advice was simply this: when I experience something like that, I make sure I break through in prayer. In the words of Coach Amber, she would say something like, don't break down, but break through. Because once we enter into the sanctuary of God, once we're able to say, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Better is one day in your presence. Once we're able to relate to David, who said, one thing I ask. Notice, sometimes we ask 2 things, sometimes we ask 5 things. It's very difficult to just ask one thing. David said, one thing I ask, that I might dwell in the presence of God. Hopefully this is something that we will never forget. That prayer, as James Danaher continues to suggest, prayer is not about trying to force ourselves into God's presence. Prayer is about being aware that you're in God's presence.